welcome to the Steele Center, everybody. We've got some college hoops action coming your way from the Steele Center. My name is Will Ford, my right-hand man, Ryan Marks, and down on the sideline, we have Bryce Lillibridge. He's our sideline reporter. He'll be talking to Coach Schwab momentarily here on WMCO 90.7 FM, and also we're streaming live on YouTube at Orbit Media TV, and we're on New Concord Cable, digital channel 1020, Orbit Media TV. So, Ryan, college hoops action coming our way here this evening. We've got this Muskingum Fighting Muskies basketball team that is in a bit of a rough patch right now. They've lost 5 in a row. Their last loss, 69-62 to Heidelberg. Really not sitting in a great place. They're a talented team, but they're just not able to find themselves in the win column recently.
Yeah, and they have a lot of good guys. And I think Coach Schwab's doing a good job of getting them together, but I think there's still a lot of season left where they can potentially bounce back, get a big win here tonight, go on the season, try to bounce back maybe for tournament time, but there's still a lot of season left to write their narrative. I don't think they're out of it yet, but I don't think they're in a good spot.
And then looking at this Wilmington squad, they're in a similar position, Ryan. They're sitting at 5-10. The Muskies are 7-8, by the way, 2-6 in the OAC, and Wilmington's 5-10. They're 3-5 in the conference. So really, the Muskies' overall record is better, but the conference record is really just about the same. They're looking to kind of climb their way up the ranks in the conference as well as we approach tournament time. And, I mean, these are both teams that are desperate for a win here this evening, and Wilmington coming to hostile territory tonight looking to get a win.
Right. Both teams are hanging on the edge, trying to get every win they can, trying to scrap for every point they can. And Wilmington is currently sitting one spot above Muskingum in the OAC rankings, so this could be a momentum shift. This could be Muskingum's chance to kind of climb the charts, and we'll see what they can do here tonight.
So right now we're going to give you a preview of the Muskie Sports Blast, where we sat down with the Muskingum men's basketball team. We had senior guard Micah Keith, junior forward Mitch Clark, and junior guard Marcus Dempsey. And Dempsey just lighting up the conference right now, lighting up the country, second in scoring in the country, and first in Ohio Athletic Conference. So right now, we're going to give you a preview of the Muskie Sports Blast here on WMCO 90.7 FM and on YouTube at Orbit Media TV and on New Concord Cable Digital Channel 1020.
What's the offensive game plan like now that you guys are on the court together? Your skill sets are out there complementing each other. What's Coach Schwab's game plan as far as the offensive side of the ball, moving the ball around and getting shots for the team?
Yeah, so we used to run a lot of like dribble drive stuff, 4-on-1, and we've really transitioned more into a motion this year, trying to get more movement. It opens up driving lanes, and especially when we get the ball in the paint to Mitch, he can have time to work down there. And then recently we've been setting a lot of ball screens, trying to get some pick and pop. Mitch is a really skilled big man. He can shoot the three. He can take you off the dribble. So we can get him in space. He's a lot quicker than most of his bigs. So I think this weekend we really utilized the ball screen to our advantage, and it really helped us out.
I wanted to ask this question. It's more geared towards Mitch and Marcus. You guys have both combined spent a lot of time on the shelf over the past couple of seasons. What was the process like coming back, and how tough is it mentally, aside from just physically? I mean, you're recovering from an injury, but how tough is that mentally to come back from an injury?
I've kind of had a lot of injuries since I've been here that I've played through. I've broken a few fingers, broke my ankle, and I finally broke my wrist, and that's when I was out. So for me, it's not much mental. It's just getting back out. I was just so eager to get back on the floor. I'd do anything to get back out there. So I think, the rehab process is a little frustrating. You lose so much strength that you don't even realize. But once you get back and start playing every day, it's, you're a little rusty. Just certain reads that you can make a lot quicker when you're playing every day. It just takes a little bit of time to get back in the groove. But I think, we're starting to do that, and it's been a big help.
I think with mine, it's a little different because, my injuries, I have to run on my knees. But it's coming back from it mentally. It was definitely a struggle there for a while. All 3 of my surgeries came within a 14-month span. So it was definitely hard on me there for a long time, rehabbing and then having to go through rehab again and then again. But coming back, it was all about just taking baby steps every day, whether it was just in the rehab with the training room with Spencer, our trainer, or, on the court, just doing some very small things. I struggled with it for a while because I was like, I just want everything to be normal again.
Just get back out there.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. But you got to take the time and you got to do it the right way so you don't mess it up again. So it was definitely a little bit of a struggle for me. But now that I'm back and I feel good, I've fell in love with stretching and getting all the treatment I need day in and day out of practice. So I feel like I'm doing it the right way now, and I feel a lot better than I did in the past. And I gotta stick to it, or else I might put myself in a position where something like that might happen again. But no, it's been good though. So.
And I know Coach Schwab is definitely glad to have you guys back out there on the court to make a run this year. But I want to go to you now, Micah. Being a senior on this team, do you kind of relish that leadership role, taking on that leadership role and being that guy that people can look to on the team, especially those younger classmen? And I guess maybe a part two to that question is, do you feel any pressure with being that senior on the team with that leadership role?
Well, being pretty much the only senior, there is a little bit of pressure there. But, this year I did try and step into more of a leadership role. The past 3 years, it's really been just lead by example, but now I'm getting more vocal and, trying to lead the team as best as I can in the ways that I can with hard work and effort. So.
Back here live in the ANC Steele Center. That was a preview of the Muskie Sports Blast with Micah Keith, Marcus Dempsey, and Mitch Clark. Looking forward to having them back on the Muskie Sports Blast next week, Monday nights from 8 to 8:30 p.m. But now, Ryan, getting back into things here as we're just a few minutes away from tip-off here in the ANC Steele Center, national anthem and things like that. Dive into these coaches. If you look at Coach Travis Schwab for this Fighting Muskies team, entering his 5th year at the helm, and in the 2017-2018 season, he coached sophomore Marcus Dempsey to a record-setting season, first-team All-OAC accolades, and he's really helped Dempsey develop into the superstar caliber player that he is.
Yeah, and even though it's his 5th season, I think we're just really seeing the start of him. I know he's had Marcus Dempsey, and he's coached him into a great young player, but he's got a lot of young athletes on this team. Like you said, there's only a few seniors on this team, so I think he's got a lot to work with. I think we're going to see a lot of improvement in the coming seasons.
And right now, we are going to send it down to the sideline. Our sideline reporter, Bryce Lillibridge, has head coach Travis Schwab. Take it away, Bryce.
All right, Coach Schwab. You guys played great basketball to end the month of December. You struggled so far this month. What are the keys for this game to get back on track?
The game's easy when the ball goes in the basket. We've struggled a little bit to shoot, but got to continue to play hard, focus on defense and rebounding.
All right, this is meeting 1 of 2 against Waynesburg this year. What do you anticipate from them here in round 1?
It's been a battle. I anticipate an OAC basketball game. Both teams playing their butts off. An intense, heated game, and it usually comes down to the last 2 minutes.
All right, we're excited. Good luck tonight, Coach. All right, back up to you guys.
Thank you, Bryce. So, yeah, Coach Schwab kind of hitting the nail on the head there, Ryan. This is OAC basketball. It's the toughest conference in the country. And, we're in store for a good show tonight.
Yeah, anytime OAC teams can match up, whether it's any sport really, you're going to get a good matchup all the way from the top to the bottom of the leaderboard. If you could take a team out of the OAC and place them in another conference, they're going to compete for the top. It doesn't matter what team it is, what year it is. And I think Coach Schwab's done a great job of competing. He took freshman Jerome Marsh and Marcus Dempsey to the Ohio Athletic Conference Freshman of the Year honors. So he's done a great job developing young players and keeping his players level-headed and just going into every battle with a fight.
Now looking at the other side of things, Ryan, the head coach for Wilmington, the Quakers, is K.C. Hunt. He's the second winningest coach in program history, and he's entering his 13th season at the helm for this Wilmington College men's basketball program. Now, although they're struggling this year, like I said at the top of the broadcast, a 5-10 record and a 3-5 mark in the conference. Although they're struggling, this is a team that you can never count out with a head coach like Hunt, who really just makes sure his guys are ready to play each and every night.
Right, and it starts up top with the head coach. He's bringing in over 160 victories and 2 NCAA D3 basketball tournament berths and winning the OAC in those years. So you can never count them out, no matter what players they have, what injuries they may be dealing with. With a coach like that and that much tenure in the game and knowing the game for that long, he's seen a lot through the OAC, and he knows how to counter a lot of teams. He's seen coaches come and go, so he knows not exactly what he's going up against, but he's got a great feel for every coach.
And right now we're going to take a step aside here on the Orbit 90.7 and on YouTube at Orbit Media TV. We'll be back with more pregame coverage and then tip-off between the Quakers and the Muskies. When we return, you're listening to WMCO 90.7 and watching live on YouTube at Orbit Media TV and on New Concord Cable Digital Channel 1020.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Go ahead and just send it back. National anthem concluding here in the NC Steele Center. We're about ready to get this one tipped off, Ryan. Now, the big storyline this evening, Marcus Dempsey is just 52 points shy of surpassing Andy Moore for first place on Muskingum's all-time scoring list. He's been on a tear recently, averaging over 31 points per game, leading the Ohio Athletic Conference, second in the country. And I mean, Ryan, you got to think Dempsey can go off at any moment.
Yeah, we're seeing something special here.
I'm sure he knows that he's close. We could see a 50-point game here tonight, but if not tonight, you have to think on Saturday when they play John Carroll that Dempsey is going to have he's going to be staring down the sights of claiming that first place record.
Oh, yeah. And the fans are definitely hoping for it to be tonight, as it's a home game, whereas Saturday it'll be away at John Carroll. But the fans are witnessing something special here. We got a special kid in junior, so he's coming back for another year, so he's about to break the record in 3 years. But especially playing a lower team in the OAC, we could very well see it happen tonight.
And that's a great point that you brought up, is that Dempsey is only a junior. Remember last year, he was technically a junior last year, but he got injured at the start of the year, only played 6 games, was granted a medical red shirt, and so he has 2 more years of eligibility this year and then the following year. So just think he's going to break the all-time scoring record in less than 3 seasons at Muskingum.
And that's absolutely unbelievable. It just shows how the game has evolved today and what a special player, how determined Marcus is. And the way he's scoring, if we could see a couple big games here, we could ultimately see him top the charts. He's only behind first place in the nation by 2.9 points. The leader's averaging 33.9 a game, whereas he is averaging 31 even. So if he drops a couple big games here and there, he could very easily take over the top and be a back-to-back leading scorer in the nation.
A lot on the line this week for Marcus Dempsey, potentially cementing his legacy as maybe the greatest Muskingum basketball player of all time. But right now, both teams on the court, starting for the Muskies, Mitch Clark, Trey Singleton, Marcus Dempsey, MJ Smith, and also Tyler Bardal. And here we go from the NC Steele Center. Mitch Clark wins the opening tip, and Dempsey will bring the ball up the floor, bringing it up the right side, crossover, now top of the key, dribbling left side, handoff to Trey Singleton on the left wing. And now Singleton will dribble towards the right side. MJ Smith deep behind the three-point line, right wing. Mitch Clark screen and roll, and MJ Smith picks up his dribble, but now Dempsey up top with the ball. He'll dribble left, pull back, crosses over, drives, right side of the lane, dishes to Mitch Clark. Baby hook in the lane, no good. Clark tries to get his own rebound and can't, and now Wilmington will bring it up the floor.
Muskingum doing a good job of staying physical, staying open, working the post down in. Wilmington's doing a good job on defense, trying to force Dempsey to use his left hand.
And now Mansfield, Jeffrey Mansfield for Wilmington up top, now swinging up to Peyton Smith, who's 4th in the OAC in assists. Now a handoff to Abdul Kanu. Now left wing, Wilmington, pull up 3, and that one rattles out. That shot was by Deshaun Jackson. Couldn't get that one to fall. No score here early on. Now Dempsey, crossover, and he hits from the top of the key.
Dempsey does a great job of ISOing the defender, making him step back to free up some space for the shot.
And so now Peyton Smith will bring the ball up the floor. Now right wing to Mansfield. Screen and roll. He'll drive, middle of the lane, contact, and one. Mansfield gets the deuce and the foul.
Foul by number 10, Mitch Clark from Muskingum. And you never want to get in foul trouble early, but that was a good force by Wilmington, trying to force the foul and ultimately get the and one.
And Mitch Clark is Muskingum's best rebounder. He is their big man. 18-29 in this first half. The free throw from Mansfield is good. He converts on the three-point play. It's 3-2 Wilmington in the early going. Now Singleton will bring the ball up the floor. Mansfield with some full court pressure.
Wilmington trying to make him rattled early.
Now Singleton looking for a screen from Clark. He'll pull it back, drive right side, right wing, MJ Smith. He'll drive middle. Dempsey backdoor cut behind the back pass in the paint. And Clark will kick it back out to MJ Smith. And a left wing 3 is off the back of the rim. No good. Now Wilmington fast down the other end. A jumper from the left wing, no good, but rebounded. And Jackson will kick it out for 3. Off the front of the rim is Mansfield, and Bardal corrals it. Now Dempsey running the floor is Mitch Clark on the left side for the deuce.
The easy lay in off the left side, and that's good awareness by Muskingum, getting it down the court quickly off the missed shot.
And now Peyton Smith, handoff to Jackson, now left wing. Now driving in the middle and dishing inside for the reverse layup. Abdul Kanu from Jeffrey Mansfield. And now full court pressure again. Singleton will bring the ball up the floor. It's 5-4 Wilmington.
Wilmington seems to be running a lot of pick and roll offense, whereas Muskingum's trying to keep it spaced, keep everyone working around, taking a lot of cuts into the post. But Wilmington's doing a great job of getting off ball and on ball screens.
Dempsey up top, kicks to Singleton, now to the corner for MJ Smith for three. It's good. Smith hits a corner three from the right side, 7-5.
Smith has such a smooth shot for him. It's no surprise that went in there.
And so now Jackson on the left wing kicks to the left corner to Abdul Kanu. He drives inside, middle of the lane. Floater is good over Mitch Clark.
Gives a nice Euro step, and just with that height, he can make it work.
And now a full court press once again. Singleton will clear it out. He'll bring the ball up the floor. Singleton from the top of the key, looking for somebody, finds Dempsey. He's a long way away from the basket. Waves off a screen from Mitch Clark. Pulls back, behind the back, pull up three. That's off the front of the rim. But the rebound is not corralled by Abdul Kanu, so it's a turnover. And the Muskies will have the ball under their own basket.
And we see Marcus waving off, trying to isolate himself, but Wilmington does a great job playing defense, trying to make him take a good shot, make him not be able to just get a wide open shot.
And now Massinelli checks into the game for the Muskies. Alex Massinelli, he takes the ball off the inbound, drives into the lane, misses. And now Wilmington will bring the ball up the floor. This is Aaron Mullins. Now left corner, back to the top of the key, Mullins. Crossover on Dempsey, looking for somebody. Mansfield now from just beside the top of the key. Dishes inside, looking for somebody. Back out now, right wing, three-pointer off the back iron and saved. And Massinelli gets to it. Ball falls on the floor again, and Dempsey has it now. He drives left side of the lane. Blocked, but a foul. Fast-paced action here in the ANC Steele Center to start this one. We're not even 5 minutes in, and both of these teams are just back and forth, back and forth.
Casey Hunt trying to argue the call made on Wilmington. Wilmington tried to, as clean as they can, but Marcus is just so good at forcing that foul.
Now Dempsey at the line. First free throw off the front of the rim, no good.
With 15:28 remaining in the first quarter, it is 7-7, all tied up here. Will, what are you seeing? Any team that can just separate themselves?
Right now, it doesn't look like it. You're just kind of waiting for Dempsey to pop off, and he misses the second free throw. That's a rare occurrence from Dempsey. And now bringing the ball up the floor is Deshaun Jackson, and he dishes inside on the right block for the layup. And scoring that basket was Noah Dado. And now Massinelli, he's double teamed on the full court pressure, steps through it. And now Singleton from the left corner steps inside the three-point line. That one rattles out.
Neither team seeming to be able to buy a jump shot. The rim's not in their favor tonight.
Corner three from Mansfield on the right side's no good. And Dempsey will set up the offense, slow it down a little bit. Both of these teams running back and forth. Now Dempsey, top of the key, crossover left side, driving in the lane, and a charge is called on Dempsey. Excellent defensive play from Noah Dado, who just scored previously for Wilmington as they lead 9-7.
And as we make some substitutions here, no team really, like you said, getting able to get some separation. Maybe we'll see it from Marcus. Maybe we can see something from someone else tonight.
It is still early, 14:38 left in the first half, 9-7 Wilmington, as Aaron Mullins will bring the ball up the floor. Now Abdul Kanu, left wing, back to Mullins. Top of the key, Kanu, he drives to the left side, layup off glass, no good.
A lot of pass and cut by Wilmington. It's making it hard to guard in man-to-man.
Now Dempsey bringing the ball up the left side. He pulls back, falling away, passes back up top to Massinelli. Calling for a screen from Tanner Gensler. Excuse me, not Tanner Gensler, Josh Huffman. Massinelli will spin inside. That's off the front of the rim. Huffman can't get the board. And now Kanu will bring the ball up. He drives inside, kicking out to Dado. On the baseline on the right side, that's off his hands, out of bounds.
Just slips right through. And you can't have those in this close of a game this early. You're trying to set the tone. Massinelli doing a good job of fighting his way into the post, though. Get good shots up, just can't connect.
Wilmington running this full court press as Singleton brings the ball up the floor. 13:45 left in the first half. A screen and roll. Carson Carter. Layup is blocked off the dish from Singleton. And now the Quakers come the other way. Canoe getting a screen from Dado. He rolls, nothing there. Now driving inside is Canoe. A high pass to the left wing to Mullins. Back out to the right side. Dishing inside is Peyton, down to Dado. His layup, he can't get it. But Peyton gets the rebound. Reverse layup, no good. And Gensler with the board. Dempsey has the ball now. Bringing the ball up the left side, now centering it back up middle. Driving right, and a reach-in foul. And that's on Peyton Smith. It's 9-7, Quakers over Muskies. 13:06 left in the first half.
We're just waiting to see a breakaway for one of these teams, just one big play. MJ Smith checking back in for Massinelli, and we're just waiting to see one big spark.
Now MJ Smith off the inbound, kicks to Singleton in the right corner. He'll drive baseline, kick to the left corner to MJ Smith. He pump fakes back to Trey Singleton. His three-pointer no good off the front of the rim. Dado with the board, now kicking to Peyton Smith. Now Smith will slow it down. Screen and roll. Dado cuts inside, nothing there. And a three-pointer from the top of the key is good from Abdul Canoe. 12-7, Quakers.
Quakers really relying on Canoe tonight. Already has 7 points and a good block.
Muskies beating the full court press. MJ Smith has the ball taken away from him by Dado, who dives for the ball. A foul will be called as he reached for it. That's Dado's first foul as he checks out. And Ryan, Dado's really bringing the energy off the bench tonight for the Wilmington Quakers.
Yeah, Dado's just trying to get a spark created. As I said earlier, Canoe is really coming up big with 7 points and a large block early on Dempsey. And Muskingum trying to pick up the tone here.
And now Gensler off the inbound from MJ Smith will hit a three-pointer on the right side, the right wing. It's 12-10. And now Smith, dribble handoff to Jalen Horton, now to the left wing, top of the key. Canoe, he drives inside on Gensler. Carson Carter with the block. Singleton running the other way. He stumbles, has the ball tipped away, but he is able to get it up towards the basket and is fouled. And Singleton will go to the line. And it seemed like it should have been a sure layup, Brian.
Yeah.
And Singleton kind of slowed up a little bit, kind of tripped over himself.
Yeah, I think Singleton just got too far ahead of himself, thought about the easy bucket, just tripped up a little bit. And nobody in green wanted to see that foul. They all thought it was clean. And now it seems like Wilmington's starting to get a little chippy with these fouls. They're just starting to argue all these calls, and it's just, it'll make for an interesting game.
Singleton connects on both free throws. It's 12-12, 11:55 left in the first half. And so now the Quakers setting up left wing. That's Canoe, top of the key, Smith. He's looking, and now a three-pointer from the top of the key off the front of the rim from Colin Myers. But a putback deuce from Jackson Todd.
That was just a good heads-up play, being able to get the rebound and put it right back up.
And now Singleton kicking to the right wing to MJ Smith, now to the corner to Gensler. Top of the key, Smith. Dempsey looking for the ball. Great defensive pressure from Smith, and now MJ Smith will drive right side. Back out to Dempsey. He's on the right wing, looking for a three-pointer. He kicks it over to Smith, driving middle of the floor. Lefty shot off the front of the rim, no good, and rebounded by Canoe.
Wilmington's being smart, playing tight off-ball coverage on Dempsey, trying to lock him up as best as possible, trying to keep him out of being a factor of this game.
And now Smith, fourth in the OAC, and assist. Has one tipped as he tries to pass. Dempsey will bring it up the floor. Driving left side, kicking out to Gensler. Back to Dempsey, right wing, pump fake. looking for a three. He will shoot it, and this one is good.
Even with a hand in his face. That's why he's the number 2 in the country in scoring. He just put that up with ease.
It's 15-14. Muskies as Smith will kick out to the right wing to Canoe. He'll drive inside. That's off back iron, but it's rebounded and kicked out. Smith for 3 from the right wing as he falls down. He connects.
Trying to draw the foul, but he did the more important part and got the shot up, got a good shot in. 17-15 Wilmington. Muskingum just needs something to get back, not necessarily get back into this game, as Canoe gets a good steal and he dribbles it up the court.
And Canoe with the Euro step, but he's blocked by Gensler. There's a foul called. Singleton with the errant pass on the other end leads to this opportunity at the free throw line for the Quakers, and Canoe will go to the line to shoot 2, trailing by 2 in the first half, 17-15, 9:55 on the clock. Canoe's first free throw, nothing but net.
Canoe's the leading scorer in this game. Now 8 points after that made free throw. That's not the guy you want to put on the line.
No, it is not, as major swap now for the Muskies. 4 people coming in. Micah Keith, Mitch Clark, Alex Massinelli, and also Tyler Bardall, as the second free throw from Canoe is good.
Muskies are just trying to switch something up, see if they can get something else to work.
Massinelli brings the ball up the floor. Under 10 minutes left in the first half. And Massinelli will kick out to Dempsey. Looking for a screen from Mitch Clark. He waves him off, and now a double team coming to the way of Dempsey. Massinelli kicking all the way to the right wing from the left wing to Micah Keith. Dempsey now dribbles around, and then Massinelli just from the top of the key down low.
That's just great passing. Great job by Muskingum to recognize the zone coverage and just force a lot of passes.
So now it's 19-17 Wilmington. And Jackson on the right wing with the ball. Massinelli with the great ball pressure. And now Canoe, leading scorer for the Quakers, drives inside. Lefty hook is good over Mitch Clark. And Canoe has 10 points in the ball game. 11. And a blocking foul the other way as Dempsey drives up the floor. That one's going to be called on Jackson.
And that's what's so great about Marcus's game is he can force people to make silly fouls, silly mistakes, trying to be worried about covering him on his passes or his shots. It just makes the game simpler for him.
So it'll be a side out. Massinelli will inbound. Dempsey will go to the backcourt. Massinelli opts to give it to Mitch Clark. And now Massinelli back up top. A screen from Clark. He'll drive inside and float it up and in.
Just a beautiful layup by Massinelli. 8:34 remaining. It's 21-19. Quakers lead with the ball.
And now on the left wing, a three from Canoe is off the back of the rim. And Dempsey with the board. He'll bring the ball up. One-on-one, behind the back dribble, pull up three from the top of the key.
Just off at the back of the rim.
And now bringing the ball up is Mansfield for Wilmington. He's back in the game. 21-19, 8 minutes left in the first half. And now a behind the back dribble, step back. Mansfield hits the jumper.
Wilmington bringing back the full court pressure, but not tight defense, just enough to make him think, make him make some moves.
Micah Keith has the ball now from Muskingum. He kicks to Massinelli on the left wing. A screen from Dempsey. Massinelli goes around it, drives inside, throws one up towards the basket. That's no good, but Clark finds the ball, kicks out to Dempsey, and Dempsey drives left side. And a whistle called. This one's going the other way. Not sure what the call is.
Looks like a hold on Wilmington. They're going to call off the shot.
Excuse me. It looked like initially, Ryan, they pointed it the other direction, but timeout is called by Muskingum, and right now we will send it down to the sideline. Our sideline reporter, Bryce Lillibridge. Take it away, Bryce.
At the beginning of the game, Coach mentioned that it was going to be a back-and-forth game, and here we are, 23-19. This is the first stoppage of play since tip-off. Both teams wanting to get out and get ahead. Real close so far. Something interesting to note, I learned down on the sideline that Jeffrey Mansfield, the starting point guard for Wilmington, in high school, he played with Jaron and Javen Cumberland. You might recognize those names. They both played for Cincinnati. They both played at Wilmington High School. So a lot of basketball blood here on this Wilmington team. They haven't had the best of seasons so far, but just like the Muskies, this is a really pivotal point. Both teams looking to turn things around tonight.
Thank you, Bryce, for that great insight. Yeah, so early going, neither team really able to establish an edge. Just a 4-point lead for the Wilmington Quakers. But right now, Dempsey for Muskingum is he's just cold. He's not really been able to get anything going. He's missed on both of his attempts at the free throw line, only connected on one jumper, has 2 points. And, I mean, he's just been on a tear lately, and it seems like maybe this is just an off night for Dempsey so far.
So far. There's a lot of game left to be played, but Wilmington's doing a great job of isolating Dempsey and freezing him out of this game, and it's showing on the scoreboard. Dempsey only has 5 points with 7:30 left in the quarter, and we'll have to see how Muskingum adjusts without their leading scorer.
Massinelli will take the ball out underneath for the Muskies, and that one's taken away by Mansfield as he drives inside. Great defense by Micah Keith, but it's tipped up and in by Deshaun Jackson. A 6-point lead now for Wilmington.
Yeah, Wilmington does a great job of crashing the boards. They recognized the mismatch they had, and they just took it down and let it in.
Now Massinelli will bring the ball up the floor, finds an opening inside, drives in. The ball's deflected out of bounds. Still Muskie possession.
And really, this game has been just grinding away. No real big plays by one team or the other. They're just playing smart defense and not getting the best shots to go in. They can't seem to buy a bucket on either side, and it's just grinding away. We're just waiting for something big.
Now Dempsey has the ball off the out of bounds left wing, and he draws a foul. No shot though, as he fires from just beside the left elbow. So Dempsey looks like he's still going to go to the line as we're in the bonus here. And it is the double bonus, or excuse me, it is a 1-and-1. I thought I saw 2 fingers from the official underneath the basket, but Dempsey connects on the first free throw. And now one more shot for Dempsey.
And hopefully this can heat him up, get him ready. Just find the bottom of the net by any means, and maybe this will just start a shot off.
And Dempsey connects on both. Now bringing the ball up is Aaron Mullins for Wilmington. He takes it towards the right wing. Now Mansfield at the top of the key. MJ Smith guarding. Playing a zone now, it looks like, is the team in white, the Muskies. Now driving inside on that zone is Jackson. He misses off glass, but the ball's deflected away from Clark off the rebound, and now Jackson, a right wing 3. That's no good, but a rebound by Gary Elder. And now Jackson again for 3 in the right corner. Bang.
Wilmington just seems playing harder in these last 20 seconds, just crashing the boards, making the smart decisions on defense, doing everything they can to get the ball back. They're going to a trap on full court trap, not just a press. They're trying to pin them deep in the corners.
And now Dempsey bringing the ball up the floor and breaking that trap, hits a jumper from the right elbow.
Yeah, gets a nice little floater in off the press. And that's why it's so dangerous to press Muskingum, because they lack a little in size, but they're just as fast as any team. They can keep up, outrun, and they're really well conditioned.
And Abdul Kanu hits on a reverse layup. Back and forth scoring now in the later stages of this first half. It's 30-23 Wilmington. Dempsey now putting the moves on Mansfield, loses the ball, gets it back. Right corner now, Bardal step back 3. That's short.
Muskingum, if they can get a good run going, they can bring the crowd into this being a home game, and hopefully just get the crowd going, get the momentum on their side.
And a foul called on the Muskies. Abdul Kanu drawing the foul. No shot. It'll be taken out underneath. As Singleton checks back in.
And that foul was on
for
Mitch Clark.
Muskingum.
That was Mitch Clark's second foul of the half.
And so now, top of the key is Dado, who checks back in. He had a lot of energy early in the first half. Now Mansfield driving left side from the top of the key, kicking to Dado on the right block. Layup and a timeout called by Coach Travis Schwab. It's 32-23. The team in green, Wilmington, leading the team in white, Muskingum, by 9 points. We will take a short break and be right back. You're listening to WMCO 90.7 and watching live on YouTube at Orbit Media TV and on New Concord Cable Digital Channel 1020. We'll be right back.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Back here live out of the timeout. Muskie basketball. Had a ball deflected out of bounds. It's now underneath. Dempsey will take it out.
Muskingum did a good job of breaking the press there and get it down the court fast, just couldn't connect.
And now Tanner Gensler will catch the pass in the backcourt. Hand off to Dempsey, who's on the right side of the floor.
Muskingum trying to isolate Dempsey on his own, make the defender work.
Pull up three for Dempsey, rattles out from the right wing. And now Mullins bringing the ball up. Driving right side, kicking out to Dado from the right wing, or excuse me, the right corner. That's no good. And now setting back up, Mullins, top of the key, driving right side, going off glass. It's just a little long, and Singleton with the board. He'll kick to Dempsey, between the legs dribble, inside floater, off the back iron. But Dempsey will get the ball back. Layup and a charge.
And
that's Dempsey's second charge of the evening.
Yeah, and it's the first half. It seems like Dempsey's just being too aggressive, trying to get those points. He almost looks in his head. He looks tired. Massinelli's checked in for, Trey Singleton checked in for Dempsey.
And you can tell Dempsey is visibly frustrated, not being able to get anything going so far tonight. But now Mullins will bring the ball up the floor for the Quakers. He'll dribble right side. He's now on the right wing. Looking down low. He'll kick it down to Colin Myers. Face-up game now backing down. And righty hook is good from the baseline. 11-point lead.
And it just seems like Wilmington's pulling away here. We got to see if Muskingum can get back into this game.
Singleton has a ball deflected from him. Now MJ Smith in the right corner. Jab step, dribbling towards the middle, and fouled.
Simple reach foul. Gets you into trouble fast. We're in the bonus. This will be a good chance for Muskingum to try to bring the game back, because it seems like it's getting away from them fast.
Not playing their best basketball at the moment. Currently losers of 5 in a row. Trying to get back on track as Smith's free throw, no good on the 1-and-1.
And Wilmington's just on an 11-4 run, just kind of pulling away from this game.
And now on the right wing, Jalen Horton, who'll drive inside baseline, kicking it back out to Mullins for three. That's no good. Massinelli with the board, running right side. He'll slow it down. Crossover, dribbling towards the right. Now left corner, MJ Smith thought about a three, now kicks to Gensler. And near the top of the key, swishes one home. And that's Gensler's second three. It's 34-26. Wilmington still leading. And an offensive foul called. I believe that's on Dado, moving screen. That's the 9th team foul for the Quakers. There's 2:51 left on the clock in this first half. 8-point game. Muskie basketball.
Yeah, a lot of ball left, but Muskingum needs to effectively get back into this game here. They need to do what they can without being overly aggressive and forcing stupid turnovers.
And Wilmington continuing with this full court pressure. Bringing a double team now. Massinelli splits it. Looking left corner. Trey Singleton three. No good off the back of the rim. Rebounded by Mansfield. And he'll kick to Smith. Tossing back to Mansfield now. Left baseline. This is Canoe, and a reverse layup from Canoe on the right side is good.
Those are so hard to cover, especially with his length. Canoe standing 6'6". Just extra long arms. It's just hard to cover that reverse layup.
Now Gensler, who has 2 threes, will kick inside. Now back out to Singleton from the left wing. His three is short. And Mansfield will kick it up to Jackson. Jackson kicking to the left corner. Back to Jackson. Putting the moves on Singleton. Drives, almost a travel, but now Smith on the right wing.
Yeah, and Muskingum doing a good job of stopping that fast break. And a lot of players end up on the ground, and Wilmington ended up with it.
Step back three from Mansfield is short. And now Singleton kicking to Gensler, left corner. Three is short, but he gets the rebound. And now Massinelli will pull it back out, set up the offense.
Minute 15 left. It's 36-26 Wilmington. And a lot of ball left, but kind of got to get worried if you're Muskingum here. Down double digits, less than a minute left in the first half.
Massinelli put up a baby hook in the lane. He missed and then was called for a foul, trying to get a rebound. That's his first foul. 36-26. Quakers lead, a minute left in the first half. And now Brandon Cox will kick over to the left side. And now Mansfield drives inside from the baseline. And a tough layup. Puts it in. Dempsey doubled, will kick to Gensler, who will bring the ball up. Now down inside. Josh Huffman will spin. Put it up off the glass. No good. He was looking for a foul. Didn't get one.
30 seconds remain here. And just Wilmington starting to pull away. But Muskingum doing everything they can to keep it in. Trying to work without their number one.
And a miscommunication on defense as Huffman left Mansfield alone. He was able to cut underneath the basket, and then Mansfield couldn't connect on the layup inside. But now Singleton has this ball taken away from him, and Jackson fast break layup on the left side as there's no time remaining here in this first half. So a late first half steal converted into fast break points. It's 40-26 at the end of the first half. Wilmington stunning the Muskies.
Yeah, it's a 14-point game here, and we didn't see any necessarily big plays, just smart offense by Wilmington doing a lot of picks and cuts and just trying to force openness. Made Muskingum switch from a man-to-man to a zone coverage, and they look like they're out of their element.
Yeah, they just don't look themselves. Dempsey not connecting on anything here this evening, and right now we will send it down to the sideline. Bryce Lillibridge, our sideline reporter, take it away.
Yeah, Muskies trail here 40-26 at halftime. Definitely not the score Coach Schwab or the rest of the team envisioned themselves being in. The story of the first half, really, you look at Wilmington, it was Abdul Canoe. He has 15 points here at the half. I don't think it was a player that Muskingum was counting on to score 15 in the first half. and Muskingum has yet to neutralize him. And as long as they have that down the post, they're going to continue going to that. So I'm sure Coach Schwab here at halftime is going to want to look for adjustments to try to slow down the post game for Wilmington.
And that's a great point, Bryce. Canoe just had a dominant display in the first half. A guy that you may not necessarily would have keyed in on as an impact player, but he's made an impact here tonight. But right now, halftime here in the ANC Steele Center, it's 40-26. Wilmington leads the Muskies. We'll be back with your halftime show here on the Orbit 90.7 and on YouTube at Orbit Media TV and also on New Concord Cable Digital Channel 1020. We'll be right back with your halftime show.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Back here live, it's halftime in the ANC Steele Center college hoops action. Muskingum trailing Wilmington by 14 points at the break. It's 40-26. And Ryan, it just didn't seem like the type of showing that Coach Schwab envisioned for his squad. Dempsey leading the OAC in scoring, been on a tear recently, coming into tonight 52 points away from claiming first place on the all-time scoring list. You really thought it was just going to be a night where everything would be clicking for Dempsey, knowing that, you know, he's that close to that record, and they're just not playing good basketball right now. Losers of 5 straight, and if this play continues, it could be 6.
Yeah, and something's got to change at half. Schwab has got to bring his guys in and just get them refocused. It seems like they lost their focus, got a little undisciplined at the end of the half, trying to make big plays, trying to take big passes, they're trying to be the guy to make the break. They're trying to be the guy to get those shots going up, and Wilmington's just playing great team basketball, staying disciplined, staying level-headed, and that's what happens when you bring in a coach that's 13 years in the league. He knows how to lay it on, just level-headed, disciplined, and especially bringing in 6'6" Canoe. is a junior out of Columbus, averaging 10.3 points a game. He's got 15 and a half. And that's just, he's playing to his advantages.
And, I mean, Muskingum didn't key in on him, so it's allowed him to flourish here this evening. Like you mentioned, 15 points, only averaging 10 a game. And those scoring averages will definitely bump up if he continues this kind of play in the second half and leads the Quakers to a victory. But right now, I'm going to give you a preview of the Muskie Sports Blast with the Muskingum women's basketball team as they're under the direction of new first-year head coach Aaron Eaton. And we had, Cam Baylock and Riley Simpson, two guards for the women's team, join the show, join the Muskie Sports Blast, and just really talked about this team's season. They're in a bit of a rough patch right now. They're 3-10 on the year, but in a new system, new coach, new environment.
Yeah, there's a lot of space to grow.
Exactly, it's a great point. And so right now we're going to give you a little snippet of that interview from the Muskie Sports Blast from Tuesday evening with junior guard Cam Baylock and freshman guard Riley Simpson here on the Orbit 90.7 and on YouTube at Orbit Media TV and also on New Concord Cable Digital Channel 1020.
What's the offensive game plan like now that you guys are on the court together? Your skill sets are out there complementing each other. What's been the message from Coach Eaton and Coach Rickland through the highs and the lows of this season?
One big thing that they always harp on is don't quit. And it's very challenging hearing those words because you don't want to quit, but then it's like we're just going through so much. We're tired, we're hurting, but I guess we're a strong team. We've been through a lot, and they've definitely been guiding us down the right path of talking us through our team flaws and stuff like that. So, yeah.
I think they've done a really great job mentally talking to us and making sure we're in the right headspace. I think it's just hard for a team from last year to transition into this year because it is a lot of change, and it's definitely harder on the returners rather than the freshmen. So that's one nice thing about being a freshman, but they definitely do push us and make us work hard, and it's really helpful to have that guiding force.
So being a freshman, Riley, how has the transition been from the high school level to the college level? Is there one big difference that you can point out that's kind of been the toughest part about the transition, or what's the experience been like?
Coming from a high school that did not really condition or have intense practices whatsoever, that was really tough. I thought it was going to be harder, but I didn't know how much harder it was going to be. So definitely starting with 3 miles on our first practice, it was really like a statement, you better be ready. So it was quite difficult, but we're getting through it.
So really the conditioning is the biggest part for you, for sure. So Cam, how have you embraced being a leader on this team? Because it looks like you got a younger group of girls on the team. How have you embraced a leadership role and kind of grooming these girls to be better basketball players when they become sophomores and juniors and so on?
Basically just talking the freshmen through their mistakes. We all make mistakes, and I make that known that we're human. So mistakes are going to happen. I also try to speak positive as much as I can. Sometimes I have a roadblock where I'm just don't say anything or whatever the case may be, and I like that a lot of times. But other than that, I try to be vocal and I try to be positive as much as I can and make sure they're not in it alone, basically.
And you mentioned kind of just hitting roadblocks every now and then where you may not say anything, but I think leading by example also is important too. If you just show some of the younger players that, this is how you're supposed to do things. This is the Lady Muskie basketball way.
Right.
For sure. But what areas do you think in your game have you improved the most from your freshman year to now?
I would definitely say shooting. My freshman year, I never shot the ball. I was just, my coaches was in my ear don't shoot the ball, pass the ball. So I took that as motivation, and worked every summer to try to get better. And I would say I did get better with my shooting. But, I mean, it's only up from there. I can always get better. So, yeah.
There you go. So, Riley, coming in, obviously you've got to get adjusted to the speed of the game. You mentioned conditioning is a big thing that you needed to work on coming in. But how have you settled in now that we're probably around midway through the season? How have you settled in with kind of the speed of the game, and what areas do you think you're better at than you maybe thought you would be coming in?
I definitely think it just like being adjusted to it, it gets easier through the game. Like running back and forth, the shot clock, just how fast-paced it is. And I think I'm better, like I'm really good at hustling and effort. And that's like one of my best strong suits. That's why I do so like better at defense than offense.
Yeah, she's a pretty good rebounder,
Hey, rebounding's important.
Yes, so. It is.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
So I guess this next question is for both of you then. What are some areas that you think need to be improved on as a team?
Back to the effort thing, I definitely think if we give effort 100% of the time, we will win games that we lost. And we would actually score as many points as the other team does. So I would definitely think if we have more effort, that's a big thing.
Going into the effort thing, it's just getting on the court after practice and putting in extra hours when nobody's around and making sure you practice how you play.
And actually a want to be there.
Right.
Like a want to be in the gym to get better, a want to actually play hard for your teammates.
Back here live in the NC Steele Center. It's halftime. We have a couple minutes left before the end of the break. And we'll get back to some Muskingum basketball action here on the Orbit 90.7 and also on YouTube at Orbit Media TV, New Concord Cable Digital Channel 1020, Orbit TV. So Ryan, at the half, it's 40-26. It's a 14-point deficit for this Muskingum team.
Yeah, as much as it's a 14-point deficit, it doesn't look like it's that separated. Just Wilmington's controlling it a little better, and they seem like the more veteran team. They seem like they have a little bit more discipline under them, a little bit more game under their belt, and that's what'll come with having such a young team in Muskingum.
And right now, Marcus Dempsey coming into tonight, 52 points shy of first place on the all-time scoring list at Muskingum. And he only has 9 points at the half. He's 3 of 7 from the floor, 1 of 4 from 3, 2 of 4 from the line. 9 points isn't bad, but by Marcus's standards, it's not what we're accustomed to seeing.
Yeah, that's not unheard of. I mean, he's still one of the leading scorers on Muskingum's basketball team in general in tonight's game, but it's just unheard of for Marcus to only score single digits in a half. I mean, I can't remember the last time that happened. It's been a long time, and then you see other players on Wilmington who normally average 10 dropping 15, and it's not been his night. Hopefully he can get back into it in the second half.
And another guy who hasn't made his mark in the score column in the statistical side of things is Trey Singleton. Singleton, a sophomore, really came on strong last year when Dempsey went down with his wrist injury. This year, he's been kind of on and off, hot and cold, and tonight not making much of an impact. But right now, we will send it down to the sideline with our sideline reporter, Bryce Lillibridge.
When the Muskies came out from halftime, it was clear that they were visibly frustrated. A first half that did not go well for them and was definitely not anticipated. Meanwhile, while Wilmington came out, they looked like a much more laid-back team. You could tell that the halftime atmosphere was much better for them. So at the beginning of the game, it was kind of flipped. So we'll see if the Muskies can try to regain some momentum here in the first few minutes of the first half. I was just sitting back behind the bench, and Coach Rawl was preaching, we just got to stick to our game plan. We can climb back into this thing. Let's not give up yet. It's clear, though, that they have a strong sense of urgency to do that.
Urgency is key as the final second ticks off here on halftime. Both teams on the floor.
Yeah, and Muskingum hoping that intensity that they bring is the right intensity. They don't want to make flagrant any kind of unheard of fouls or turnovers trying to get back into this game. You don't want to be the hero in this situation. You want to play to win.
And right now, Canoe inside again to start the half on the left block. A drop step layup.
A simple turnaround. And that's what you're going to get from a 6'6" kid playing more of a forward. He's listed, or more of a guard. He's listed as a forward, but he seems to be playing more of a guard. He's been more of a ball handler this game.
And he has 17 points as Dempsey now kicks to Trey Singleton. Dishing inside to Mitch Clark, misses the layup. And now going the other way is Mansfield. Inside now, a layup on the other end for Wilmington, and that's Colin Myers on the right block.
And Wilmington jumping out to 4 straight points within the first minute of the half. And they look like the more ready team this half.
Now Singleton on the left wing calling for a screen from Clark, rolling now right wing to Bardal. MJ Smith to the left corner, back to Singleton. Now now Smith left wing, Dempsey top of the key.
Yeah, and Trey Singleton averaging just under 14 points a game. He's only had 2 in this game. He's been off as well.
And MJ Smith misses a 3. And now a lob and a throwdown.
An alley-oop from Canoe. He's been everywhere this game. Canoe's been all over both sides of the court.
Canoe finds Jackson for the slam in transition. And 6 quick points out of halftime for Wilmington. It's 46-26, and it is dead quiet here in the Steele Center.
Yeah, Wilmington's taking the fans right out of it, besides the ones who decided to make the trip. It's not a good night for Muskingum fans. And as we said earlier, it didn't seem like it was that far apart of a game despite the score. But now it just seems like Wilmington's running away with it in the second half.
And we're not even 2 minutes into the second half, and they're already taking off.
Yeah, 6 straight points to give them a 20-point lead early in the second half, and it's their night. They're rolling on they're pushing all cylinders.
And the Quakers back to that full court press once again, trapping the ball handler. MJ Smith now on the left side, Singleton top of the key, crossover, and now driving on the right side, and a layup off glass. Scoops it up and in.
Yeah, high glass layup, trying to make it hard to block, and did it effectively.
Singleton has 4 points. And now on the right wing is Smith. And he's looking for Mansfield, and a catch off the screen on the right elbow is short.
Just off the front rim as Dempsey brings it up the court, and now they're double covering Dempsey in the back court, trying to force something stupid.
Carson Carter loses the ball, and now Jackson takes it the other way, lays it up and in over Dempsey.
Dempsey getting triple teamed in the back court. They're doing everything they can to stop one from Muskingum, and it's working. Held him to 9 points and 2 fouls in the first half. Yet to score here. Just turns the ball over.
And a turnover, and now Jackson throws it down.
Off the assist from Canoe, and they're just having great chemistry right now. Wilmington's just all over the court.
It's 50-28 as Smith is on the right wing off a screen from Carter. Now Gensler on the right wing, spinning baseline, kicking inside to Carter, and a foul. Foul on the pass. It'll be taken out underneath. 17-10 on the clock in the second half. It's 50-28, Wilmington.
Wilmington just running away with it at this point. This isn't the same team we saw in the first half. Wilmington just caught a fire, and Muskingum honestly looks frightened at the moment to try to bounce back. Down 22 early in the second half. It's gonna be a tough road, but there's still 17 minutes left. Will, you think they can do it?
I think anything is possible when you have Marcus Dempsey on your side, and now a technical foul will be called, I believe, on Mansfield, who was jawing with the official, which is why play has been delayed here.
And that's just something you hate to see in sports today, just fighting with the officials and fighting with other people. Like the Kansas State game the other night, that was just absolute brawl breaking out. And that's just something you don't want to see in sports today.
Right now, as Marcus Dempsey steps to the free throw line, we'll send it down to Bryce Lillibridge on the sideline.
Yeah, Mansfield was chirping with the Muskingum players there. You saw the back-to-back dunks, and the score is now a 21-point lead as Dempsey's second shot is up and in. And his chirping back and forth, and then the officials told him to stop, and he stared down at an official. The other official told him to stop. Then they teed him up. They decided they had enough of it.
Thank you, Bryce. And so Dempsey converts on both technical free throws. It's 50-30, a 20-point game now as Carson Carter will kick to Gensler on the left wing. And he loses the ball. And diving for it, I believe that was Canoe, and he's fouled by Gensler. And just nothing going right for Muskingum in this second half.
Other than that technical, it has been all Wilmington.
So bringing the ball up the floor now for the Quakers is Peyton Smith, 4th in the OAC in assists. He'll kick to Jackson, and he hits for 3 on the left wing, and he has been on fire to start this half. 2 dunks, and now a steal, and a jump ball will be called. Jackson bringing the action here tonight in the Steele Center.
Jackson decided he wanted to own the second half. He's already got a couple big dunks and a steal there. A couple steals, actually. He's lighting up the second half.
And now the Muskies, they claim possession off the jump ball. Carter brings the ball up the floor. And now looking for somebody as he picks up his dribble, finds Smith, now to Dempsey. Getting double, dribbles out of it, and now inside, Dempsey with an easy layup on the right side.
Yeah, that's one of the few things that's gone right for Muskingum in the second half, is they're down 24 after another 3 from Jackson. Jackson's lighting it up. It almost seems like there was a change of power in that alley-oop from Canoe to Jackson in the second half.
And Jackson has 19 points as he hits on a 3 from the right wing. And now Massinelli driving. Layup off glass, no good, rattles out. It's 56-32. Under 16 minutes left in the half. Jackson now kicking to the corner to Canoe. And he hits for 3.
And Canoe and Jackson combining for 39 points. With those two, they're outscoring Muskingum's entire team.
And that's not good if you're head coach Travis Schwab, and he is pulling, looks like 5 new people are going to be coming in as Dempsey now inside.
Misses another
layup, and looks like it's going to be a platoon swap for the Muskies here momentarily.
For both, essentially. Wilmington's sending in 4. I think they're just trying to get their starters rest, get them ready for later in the half in spite of a comeback.
And another 3-pointer from Wilmington at the top of the key. This time it's Colin Myers.
Muskingum falls to down 30 in this half after being down 14 at the end of the first half. And there's still 15 minutes to go, Will. I don't want to say this is getting ugly because there's still a lot of time left, but Muskingum's going to step it up.
It's 62-32, 15:04 in the second half. And Action Jackson this second half. I ruined the pun there.
I like the coin,
I ruined the pun, but hey, he has been lighting it up so far in this half. 19 points. And then, of course, combined with Canoe's effort in the first half,
yeah,
I mean, those two have just really taken over this game.
Yeah, 39 points between the two. It's compared to Muskingum's 32 as a team. And I'll hit you with another pun. I mean, I guess Canoe really sailed it over to Jackson just for the second half. I mean, it's like they went into the locker room and was like, I'll take the first half, you take the second half, we're just going to single-handedly beat them. And they're just coming out, Wilmington's coming out with more swagger in the second half. They look like a team that's ready to play. Muskingum looks like they're just ready to get out of here and move on.
It looks like a lost cause as he just heads down on the court, but now 5 new players. Play stopped for the moment. Looks like a clock issue. But on the court, is Micah Keith, Tyler Bardall, Josh Huffman, Trey Singleton, and Noah Begg. And now Micah Keith will bring the ball to the floor, dribbling left side. Now Huffman, he'll back down in the post on Dado, and his layup is no good. Good post defense.
Yeah, he did a good job of backing down there, but the defense is just bend, don't break.
And now top of the key. This is Aaron Mullins, who checks in for Wilmington. Now on the right wing, Mansfield. Dado over to the left wing. Jackson Todd now back to Mansfield in the post. And spinning on Singleton, can't get a shot off. And now cutting inside is Mullins, reverse layup. 64-32.
Yeah, Muskingum slowing down the pace here. It just seems like they're trying to get out of this.
Micah Keith, the senior, kicking now to the left side, and a three-pointer no good for Muskingum, but Bardal gets the board, and he's fouled on the right block.
Yeah, Muskingum going from a 14-point deficit to a 32-point deficit in a matter of really 6 minutes. Like, Wilmington is just pouring it on. They're not content with just being a close win.
Bardal's first free throw is good. And that's his first point of the evening. And Tyler Bardal's second free throw is also good. 64-34, 30-point game, 14 minutes left in this game. And now Dado on the right wing, dribble handoff to Mansfield, drives inside, kicks to the left elbow, then down inside to Dado. Dado thought that Gary Elder was going to pull up from the left elbow, and as he jumped, Dado was crashing the glass there, Ryan, and instead it was a dish to him. Didn't see it.
Yeah, just miscommunication, but that's been one of few tonight for Wilmington. They seem to be working well other than that little mishap, but you can afford to give up a few of those after scorching in the second half to a huge lead.
And a three-point shot from Muskingum, no good. And now bringing the ball up the floor is Mullins. He'll dribble right side. Now corner, Jackson Todd. Back now, around the horn it goes. Mullins top of the key. Crossover on Singleton, inside, layup, good with the left hand.
That was just super smooth layup there. And Wilmington's doing a good job of using the pick and rolls, trying to get up against this undisciplined, I guess, Muskingum team.
And another missed layup for Muskingum. And now Jackson Todd driving inside for Wilmington, and he lays it up and in off glass. Both teams playing fast, but one team doing it better, and that's the team in green. Micah Keith spinning inside. Right corner, now up to Singleton, top of the key. Three-pointer, swish.
As Singleton gets his total up to 7 for the game. And yeah, as you said, both teams playing fast, but one team's playing right. It just seems like everything is going right for Wilmington in the second half, jumping out to a huge lead as Wilmington gets called for an offensive foul.
And that's Mansfield driving on the left baseline, dips his shoulder into the defender of Muskingum. Offensive foul, and he's pleading his case with the official.
That's his 4th foul of the game. He's got to be careful with 12 minutes left in this game.
Luckily, though, they are leading by 31 points, so even if he is off the floor, it shouldn't make much of an impact on the outcome.
Yeah.
As now Singleton looking to break the press. Left side of the floor. And he'll go ISO here. Now kicking top of the key, screen and roll. Bardal inside to Carson Carter with the right hand, and he misses the layup and misses the tip. No one in front of him. And a bunny goes awry. And now a corner three for Wilmington rattles out from the left corner. Singleton, primary ball handler. Crossover, spin, the free throw line. Now Bardal, he'll float one up. That's off the front of the rim. Carter's tip, no good, but a foul called, loose ball foul. And they're going to call that on Deshaun Jackson. That's his 3rd foul.
And Muskingum's just getting away from what they're taught by Coach Schwab. They're trying to do anything and everything they can to get back into this game, but at this point it almost seems lost to them. 11:27 left, 68-37 Wilmington.
Micah Keith will go to the line on the foul. Hits the first free throw. And Keith long on the second one, but gets the rebound. Good hustle, and that goes out of bounds as it's tipped away, but it's Muskingum basketball, so good hustle by Keith.
Yeah, and as Muskingum, it looks like they're going to fall to 6 straight losses. Is there anything you saw tonight that may have set up this loss?
It's just not converting on open chances when they had them and playing a little too fast, a little too aggressive, as you noted earlier in this game. Now Singleton, a pull-up jumper, has the ball tipped out of his hands, and he just chucks up a prayer and makes it from the top of the key.
That looked like the Kyle Lowry shot the other night where he just throws it over his head and just says a prayer. Luckily, that prayer was answered.
And now a corner three, looking for a corner three is Jalen Horton. He'll dribble out of it, and Deshaun Jackson loses the ball out of bounds. It's a turnover for Wilmington, one of the rare mistakes they've had this evening. And a timeout will called by Wilmington.
And you can afford to make those mistakes when you're up 68-40. Well, this game has gotten out of hand fast.
It really has, and just a 30-second timeout here, so we will stay with you on WMCO New Concord and also watching live on YouTube at Orbit Media TV and on New Concord Cable, digital channel 1020, Orbit TV. But yeah, I mean, a 28-point deficit, and you asked the question, what has gone wrong for Muskingum tonight? I think it really just comes down to them, number one, maybe not coming out with enough energy in the first half, but then once things started to kind of get away, they started playing too aggressively.
Right. They brought energy. I believe they brought energy in pregame, but it was the wrong energy. They weren't focused. They were singing around, dancing, and that's all fine, but you got to be able to flip that switch and turn it on.
So Massinelli checks in from Muskingum. He'll bring the ball up the floor out of the timeout.
And another thing, stopping Wilmington's big players. You got senior Deshaun Jackson and junior Canoe just tearing it up. It still combined for 39 points. They've kind of taken it off since the midway of the second half, but Muskingum's only outscored those two players by 3 points. You just can't have that.
And Singleton makes his point total 11 with a pull-up jumper on the right wing. Now Canoe driving inside, has the ball stripped away on the shot, but he's fouled, I believe, by Tanner Gensler. And it is on Gensler. And that's Gensler's third foul. And Canoe, who has 20 points tonight, will go to the line.
And the fans are starting to see the same things that we are. The fans are starting to clear out. Definitely not as packed as it was at halftime. And it's just not a showing you want to bring to your home court. I mean, hopefully Muskingum can bounce back from this and move forward.
And Muskingum, they're only 2-3 on the, 2-3 at home this year, so not performing too well on their home floor.
Yeah, you got to be able to defend your turf, and even if you're not being extra successful on the road, you got to be able to bring it home.
So now it's 69-42. Just under 10 minutes as Massinelli drives, kicks to the right corner. Gensler for three, missed it, but a foul, and he'll go to the line to shoot 3 free throws.
And that's Jackson's seemed to be 4th foul of the game. Yeah, that's Deshaun Jackson's 4th foul of the game. And although you're up a lot, I mean, being a senior, you don't want to foul out of any games. You don't know how many you have left.
Just playing a little too aggressively when you're already up 27 points, as Gensler is short on his first free throw. And that's another thing for Muskingum is free throw shooting. Really haven't converted on all their free chances tonight.
Yeah, I believe this game would be so much not so much closer, but just momentum-wise closer. Not even so much in score, but that's just got to get you down. You're given a free throw, you're given a free shot, and you can't convert on those. That's
Gensler's 1 for 2 on free throws. His third one is short again, tipped out, but rebounded Jackson Todd. And now Peyton Smith will bring it up the floor. Mullins, a three-pointer on the left wing. That's nothing but nylon.
Yeah, I think that's what Wilmington's doing a great job of, is crashing the boards. They seem to come down with most, if not nearly all of the rebounds tonight, as Canoe steals it and comes up the court alone.
And he'll miss the dunk. But Todd will get the rebound for the Quakers. And they'll reset Smith on the right side of the floor. He'll clear everyone out.
Canoe trying to get too flashy with it and just lets that one slip away from him. Luckily, his team was behind him and crashed yet another board.
With Canoe now on the right wing will cross over in the lane, kick out to Todd. Now Mullins for three from the left wing. Again, that's off back iron. Rebound Bardal, and MJ Smith will come the other way. Left side of the floor, Bardal, catch and shoot three-pointer. That's long. Massinelli with the board. He's fouled inside and one.
And Bardal,
and the harm.
Bardal just seems to take an uncoordinated shot. That didn't seem like they could have gotten a better look later on in the shot clock. But luckily Massinelli in with the rebound and the putback.
Massinelli, he converts on the three-point play opportunity.
8:50 remaining in the game. Wilmington still pulled away 72 to Muskingum's 46.
And now on the left wing is Mullins, now kicking to Smith. Back to the left wing, a three-point shot. That one's good, and the Quakers making it rain from three. And that's Colin Myers. He has 10 points on the night.
Yeah, Wilmington only having 4 seniors. This team has a lot to improve on. I mean,
Trey Singleton hits a three. He's come on strong in the later stages of the second half, and he has 14 points. Dempsey with a steal. He goes the other way, left side. And passing back to Massinelli, an acrobatic layup.
And that's just a good play by a team player. He realized he was out in front and had a one-on-one situation, but he looked for the pass as opposed to taking the forced shot, giving an open layup.
And Dempsey with another deflection and a steal. Singleton behind the back, driving middle, and lays it up and in. Singleton catching fire.
And this just seems too late, too little too late. I mean, this is a great run that Muskingum's putting on, coming back 75-53, but this needed to be done earlier.
Coach Schwab seems to be pleased with his team's effort with 7:26 left in the second half. And Wilmington will call a timeout, kind of try to just calm them down and just stop this run. You don't want any crazy things happening. I mean, we've seen crazier things before.
We definitely have.
So
a 22-point game. I mean, it's not unheard of to come back from. I mean, we saw even Tracy McGrady's, 13 points in
33 seconds.
33 seconds. It can happen, especially as fast as we saw Wilmington score. They broke out in 4 minutes, scored just 16, 18 points, laid it on there really fast. And so I think they're trying to evade, like you said, what they did earlier.
And also another moment in NBA history, Reggie Miller's 8 points in 9 seconds, playing for the Pacers, playing against the New York Knicks, hitting 2 threes, and then connecting on 2 free throws off a foul.
Yeah, that one hurts as a Knicks fan, but I can't hide from it. That choke slogan has been burned into my brain, that image, but we live with it as Knicks fans. We're used to it.
Out of the timeout, it's 75-53 Wilmington ball, and Smith will bring the ball up for the team in green. And now Smith's on the left wing, down inside to Canoe. He drives baseline and is fouled on the shot.
Yeah, Muskingum's trying to plead their case why that shouldn't be a foul, but just got to play more disciplined.
And that foul is on Bardal. It's his first. Canoe has 21 points. First free throw is short.
Yeah, so with 7:14 left, it is 75-53 Wilmington. And you see any kind of push from Muskingum?
I mean, at this point, you're playing for pride. You're playing to just establish a little bit of confidence going into your next game. As Canoe hits on the second free throw, he has 22 points now.
Yeah, as we in football in high school said, at this point, you're playing to avoid running.
And Singleton has a ball deflected, and Smith will bring it up. And now Canoe, top of the key. Hand off to Smith. Dempsey on ball pressure. And Smith will drive left side baseline and scoop it up on the other side.
Yeah,
reverse layup.
Pretty little reverse layup, and that's just as Marcus gets tripped and Bardell brings it up the court. Passing it over to Gensler.
And Gensler will drive baseline, spin inside, kick out to Massinelli on the left wing. And he'll drive towards the left side, spin,
now
floated up, no good, and rebound by Dado.
It may just be me, but yeah, Marcus is hobbled up. This isn't good.
Not good for the leading scorer in the Ohio Athletic Conference and second in scoring in the country. And especially at this point in the year, a critical point of the year where you're trying to make a push for the OAC tournament. And also you're creeping up on a all-time scoring record. It's not a good sign.
No, that's definitely not a good sign, especially in a game so far gone. It seems like Muskingum, he was already not having a good game, and to see him go down like that, not only leave the court, but to leave the stadium entirely, we wish the best for him. But
especially a guy with the injury history he's had.
Right.
You don't want to see him miss any more time. It's 78-53 with 6 minutes left. And now Jackson, who's back in with those 4 fouls, kicks to Mansfield. Now back to Jackson. Between the legs dribble, drive towards the right side, and a layup. Pretty move by Jackson.
Yeah, Wilmington just content with laying it on as they keep in Jackson with 4 fouls, and Mansfield with 4 fouls. They're just they're trying to not run up the score necessarily, but they're trying to make a statement in this pivotal point in the season.
Gensler will dump it down inside to Keith. Massinelli back to Keith on the right block, but it's deflected out of play with 5:30 on the clock. And you see more fans exiting the Steele Center.
Yeah.
Not the performance they were hoping to see tonight, as Gensler off the inbound will drive towards the middle of the floor, pump fake, put up the baby hook, no good, and rebounded by Gary Elder. And a foul called on Gensler on the reach-in, and that's just not a smart foul. It doesn't matter what the score is. You're 94 feet away from the basket.
Right, and you see, granted, I see his point. He saw forward bringing it up the court. He thought he could get a quick steal, but that just seemed more like a pride foul. He was just angry about missing the shot and just trying to get back at him.
Ticking down to 5 minutes. It's 80-53. Smith will bring it up.
Yeah, and as you said, more and more fans just continue to head for the doors. This was not a showing that Muskingum wanted to bring home, but any fan for Wilmington who decided to make the trip, they were rewarded.
Missed shot by Wilmington. Now Keith bringing it up the other way. Trey Singleton pull-up 3 is blocked. That's blocked by Mansfield, and he's running the floor, catches the pass, and is fouled by Micah Keith. And that's good sportsmanship by Keith, helping him up after the foul.
Yeah, and that pass is just a little too far in front of him. Had to stutter step and save it. That would have been just a walk-on layup.
And Mansfield tonight for the Quakers, he has 7 points, 4 fouls, but it's not going to have an impact on how Wilmington will play the rest of this one, as they're leading by 27 points. Mansfield misses the first free throw, and there's under 5 minutes left to play.
Yeah, and that's what Wilmington, as we've said, they've really played polished. I mean, despite their record, they've played well. They're being level-headed. They're being super disciplined, and they may have a mistake here or there, but they established their lead. They established their presence first.
So Massinelli bringing the ball up the floor. Singleton on the left wing, back to Massinelli, driving inside, and the layup blocked That's blocked by Colin Myers. And a pass by Smith cross court. And a layup is just off the front of the rim
just too much
by Elder.
Just too much mustard on that shot.
And now Singleton, he'll drive right. Kick out to Micah Keith for three. He rattles one home. And the senior making some late game contributions, albeit in a losing effort. That's what you want out of your leader. Is now Mansfield on the right baseline. Back to Smith on the right wing. Mansfield on the block again. And spinning, blocked by Keith, but a foul.
Yeah, and that's what's good for Muskingum, though, is this is something to take away from the game. You may have lost this one, but at least they're playing all the way through to the final whistle.
So Mansfield will go to the line. The foul was called on Trey Singleton. Mansfield with 8 points, make it 9. And just to think, Ryan, the storyline coming into this one was obviously a key moment in the season for both of these teams, but with Dempsey so close to the scoring record, we just thought it was going to be the Marcus Dempsey show all night long. And he really hasn't been himself. And, of course, getting injured here late in the second half, not good.
Yeah, in a game that's, like I said earlier, so far gone, I don't know why you keep him in this position. I don't know why you keep if you keep any starters in at this point with an 83-56 deficit, 3:45 left in the game. I think you just prepare and move on for next game. Let your young guys get some playing time, get used to playing in front of a crowd, because I know a lot of, especially at the Division III level, a lot of kids are coming in from not playing from a big crowd.
The second free throw was converted, and now on the other end, Micah Keith with a three, bricks that one off the other side of the backboard from the right wing. Not a good shot. Is now some players in for Wilmington that don't typically get too much playing time. On the left wing, it's Travis Mitchell. He takes it to the free throw line, and Dado travels in the post. It's 83, excuse me, to 56. 3:09 left in the game. Yeah. Muskies have the ball, and bringing it up the floor is Luis Suarez. Micah Keith now left corner, now right corner back to Suarez. And now inside and stealing the ball and going the other way. Just a crazy sequence inside as Josh Huffman was trying to get a shot up in the post. Made a move and had the ball stripped away.
Yeah, and even all phases of the game, starters, bench, and even the guys who don't really get much playing time, they're controlling the game. I mean, it looks like Muskingum's going to fall to another loss to make that 6 in a row. Looking forward to John Carroll. How do you think they match up, especially without or a hobbled Marcus Dempsey just 4 days away?
If Marcus Dempsey is unable to go or is not himself, as going to the line is Travis Mitchell. He misses the free throw off the foul. If they don't have a 100% Dempsey going into that game, it's not going to look good. Is now Huffman for three from the left corner. Or excuse me, that is not Huffman. That is Brandon Szuchowski. He checks in and gets some late minutes with 2:25 left on the clock, and he hits a three. It's 83 to 59. And a travel called on the other end. Wilmington turns it over.
Yeah, tried to hit him with a good fake and just didn't work out. I will have to say I respect Wilmington's #1's hair choice. He's rocking the mullet.
Bringing the flair to the Steele Center and bringing some flair to their play tonight. And now checking in from Muskingum is #5, Avanti Duncan. And he'll pull up for three on the left wing, no good. And rebounded by Wilmington, 2 minutes on the clock. They'll bring it the other way. This is a shot inside by Elder. No good now in the left corner. And this is Mitchell, who is being bodied up by Zuchowski.
Yeah, Muskingum playing here, just trying to make the score look closer on the charts.
Elder with a step back three, no good on the left wing. Rebounded by Josh Huffman. 1:30 on the clock. Suarez in the left corner for three. It's off the front of the rim. Running the other way, Grant Mahalik. And it's stolen. Suarez to Zuchowski, and he lays it in. Reverse layup.
Good no-look pass by Suarez, making him think that he was going to take it himself and then just dishing it at the last second.
Andrew Clark now running the show at point. He drives inside on the left side, no good, but a putback layup. Gary Elder. And a timeout called by the Fighting Muskies, making a substitution. And substituting into the game is Alfred Johnson III, a transfer coming to Muskingum.
Yeah, reportedly found he's from Walsh University. Named him Big Al, standing at 6'9", and he's a freshman. He's got a lot of time to work. I mean, if you can get him ready, he's been granted immediate eligibility by the NCAA. And there he is scoring his first points as a Muskie. And they said they're ready to play him. He just got to get into game shape as he's just came in.
And he gets the rebound on the other end, now running the floor. Big man can move, can hustle. Looking for him inside, standing at 6'9". He's posting up. Suarez looking for him, can't get to him.
Yeah, and even off ball, Big Al is setting screens and bodying down, passing up big.
And a lob to the big guy in the paint. Big Al gets his second basket.
Yeah.
He's got 4 points with 8 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, I think this is Schwab's little project right here with 53 seconds left, just to see how he can play, see what kind of shape he's in, see what he's getting from this player from Walsh.
And the clock strikes zero. It's 85-63, the final score here in the ANC Steele Center, as we got to see Alfred Johnson III check in for the first time in his Muskie career, a transfer from Walsh, as Ryan mentioned, standing at 6'9" tall.
Yeah. Muskingum falls to 7-9 as Wilmington moves forward to 6-11, just pulling away in the OAC standings. Even though they have the lower overall record, the OAC standings is what matters.
And so right now, we'll take a short break and have your post-game show here from the ANC Steele Center. The Muskies fall, and we'll break it down after the break. You're listening to WMCO New Concord, and also watching live on YouTube at Orbit Media TV and on New Concord Cable Digital Channel 1020 Orbit TV. We'll be right back.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Even if I tried, even if I wanted to.
3, the final here from the ANC Steele Center. Wilmington victorious over the Fighting Muskies of Muskingum. And when we break it down, Ryan, I mean, it just wasn't the Muskies' night. It wasn't their game. Marcus Dempsey just came out a little flat, wasn't converting on some of those jumpers that we normally see him hit. Was a little too aggressive at times as well, had 2 charges in the first half. And then we see him go down late in the second when really the game was too far gone. And really just not the game you wanted to have at a critical point in the season, trying to make a push towards the OAC tournament. And then your best player goes down with injury, and hopefully he is okay, but not the best game.
Right, this is definitely not the game that Coach Schwab wanted to see by himself, or Coach Schwab wanted to see for the team, and that's definitely not a game you want to bring home to the fans, which unfortunately they did tonight, and hopefully we wish the best for Marcus, but looking forward, they got a tough road ahead if they want to make any kind of championship.
And they've got John Carroll this Saturday, as do the Lady Muskies. They take on John Carroll at home. We'll be calling that on WMCO 90.7. But looking at the Wilmington side of things, played with so much energy, so much pressure, especially on the defensive end, playing with a lot of pace. And you saw it in the second half, a couple dunks by Deshaun Jackson. And Jackson, he finished with 21 points, and Abdul Canoe finished with 21. Just 2 players on their game tonight, and maybe guys that you wouldn't expect to see, especially from Canoe's standpoint, making an impact in the box score and lighting it up.
Yeah, averaging about 10 points a game and coming in and dropping 21, and 2 players alone only getting outscored by Muskingum's whole team by 20 points. And there for a while, they were outscoring Muskingum's entire team, and I guess Muskingum was just focused on other things. And Wilmington did a great job. Hats off then, Coach Hunt. He did a really good job of keeping them level-headed and keeping them disciplined and really bringing that fire in the second half. Like you said, Deshaun coming in with a couple big dunks off Canoe's passes and just dominant force on the defensive side. It seemed like at the beginning Canoe was everywhere, and it just moved over to Deshaun. It just translated well.
And 85-63 is the final score. Really what I think many people thought was a winnable game for Muskingum, and I think a lot of people may have predicted they would have won to kind of reinsert themselves back in that OAC tournament picture. But where do you think they go from here if Marcus is down and maybe can't play or maybe it just isn't 100% for a little while? How do you think that impacts their chances at making a run late in the year?
I think that definitely hurts your chances. I mean, when you have the second scorer in the country going down with injury and first in the OAC by a long shot, you definitely have to change your game plan, but that's the beauty of college sports. It's next man up mentality. At this level, everyone's an athlete, and you just got to be able to take it to the next step and hopefully bounce back as a team, because while it's 1 scorer down, it's still a 5-man game. You got to have everybody on their game.
So the Muskies fall 85-63 tonight from the ANC Steele Center. Our next sports broadcast is going to be this Saturday as we have some Muskingum Lady Muskie basketball action under the direction of first-year head coach Aaron Eaton. They'll be taking on John Carroll, sitting at 3-10 right now, actually playing Wilmington. We do not have a score for you right now, but pending that game, potentially 4-10 or 3-11 going into the John Carroll matchup. Not right where they want to be, but a young team, a very young team under a first-year head coach, putting in a new system. There's a lot of room for growth with this team for the future, and this year is just kind of a feeling out process to see where they kind of stack up with this youth.
Yeah, and they definitely, I like what Coach Eaton and Coach Strickland are bringing in. They got a lot of, they have talent, but they're bringing in a mentality, just the Muskingum mentality like we talked about in our last cast together in wrestling. A lot of young coaches here, not necessarily young, but a lot of newer coaches here.
Right.
And they're bringing in this new wave of players and athletes and students, and they're just trying to change the culture around this place and bring in a winning mentality.
So that game is going to be this Saturday. The Lady Muskies taking on John Carroll, the Blue Streaks. We'll have that on WMCO 90.7. And then also, just looking forward to next week, we'll have men's basketball again on Wednesday for a simulcast. It'll be on TV and radio. And then the Muskie Sports Blast will have the men's basketball team joining the show at 8 o'clock on Monday. Tuesday, we'll have the women's basketball team. Wednesday is typically wrestling, but with that basketball game on the schedule, we will potentially reschedule that. And then Thursday, we'll have the indoor track team. So great sports content coming from the Geyer studio each and every night of the week. But thank you for joining us here in the ANC Steele Center 85-63 the final, Wilmington over Muskingum. For Bryce Lillibridge down on the sideline, my right-hand man, Ryan Marks, I'm Will Ford. Thank you for joining us on WMCO New Concord and on Orbit Media TV on YouTube. Have a good night.